I was thinking about being a kid and how my parents first introduced me to nature and conservation. We would sit out in the backyard and watch the fireflies glow, dance, and talk to each other. We were allowed to collect them, but only in our hands, and we had to release them unharmed. Even then, my parents were teaching me to respect and appreciate nature, and I didn't even know it.
My name is Ruth A. Musgrave, and I write for children. I mainly write nonfiction for babies all the way up to adults. For National Geographic Kids, I've gotten to do many projects that relate to conservation. Books are an excellent way to introduce kids to conservation and topics about nature because there's so many different approaches. There's humorous fiction, there's humorous nonfiction. You can pick a topic that's the kids' favorite, elephants or tigers, or you could look for something that kids know less about but might be interested. So bees or butterflies, things you have in your backyard. So there's also a lot of biographies and autobiographies from different explorers. A lot of kids don't realize that most scientists are truly explorers. They're getting out there, they're going somewhere new, they're looking at something in whole new ways. The other thing that is really important today are the other topics around science and nature, technology, engineering, math. There are kids that love those topics and don't realize that they could be the one that invents the next version of a submersible that can go down and explore and discover another kind of deep sea squid. So those books you shouldn't ignore those books either. One of the best ways to open the door to getting kids interested in nature or animals is fiction. Oh my gosh, there's so many fun stories about that aren't, of course, real. There's no hippo that's taking a trip to go up to the North Pole. There's a great book out that has that. But it's so funny and so fun that kids like it. And then they're like, wait, can a hippo go to the North Pole? I don't know. And maybe that's where then you do some nonfiction exploring to find out. And there's no wrong answer on how you get your kid excited about conservation or nature. Take a look at your family traditions, take a look at what's going on in your community, take a look at what's important to you. Maybe it's a traditional food you eat, you track down how it's grown and all the ingredients that go into it. And a lot of things are wild grown, so maybe you can go out and find the seeds, or you can go out and find the grasses or whatever. And an important thing is to look at the age of your child. The younger they are, the less the true, clear conservation message it is. It's more important the younger they are to get them to love the thing, love the habitat, love the animal, love the behavior. Any of those things are way more important than saying, oh, by the way, look at the people that came before you have done. As they get older, you can gently introduce different conservation things. So if they're 3 or 4, then it's, make sure it's recycling, it's explaining why you're walking to school, it's let's not leave the lights on all the time or run the water all the time. And with older children, say you've got a preteen or a teenager, you really need to let them set the course. Right now there's great citizen science programs everywhere, and they are amazing. They're counting butterflies, counting whales. So if they're interested in that, they can actually participate in the science, and the numbers they count or whatever go to the scientists, and the scientists are using that to help save and protect these animals. So the older they get, the cooler conservation things they can do. You don't have to be out in the middle of the country or right next to Yellowstone Park to have interaction with nature. The Pacific Northwest is the best place for urban nature hunting. There's animals and critters everywhere, in your own backyard, in your local park, in the little flower pot in front of your house. So if you're in an area where you feel like you're limited as far as nature, go on a nature walk. Go at the time of day when you might see less people, more animals. So if you go out earlier in the morning or maybe right before sunset, get out there and just really be a detective, a nature detective. Well, as a writer, of course, I love that people read things, but I also know that as a writer, I like to write things. I like to express myself and share my thoughts and share about animals that I love and the things I find are so interesting. And I think that's equally as important for children, that there's lots of great books and they should enjoy them and read them. But also journaling through and writing and also doing art are really important. So if you are your nature detective and you're going out and they're looking for things, they can write about what they're seeing, feeling, smelling, hearing, all those great things, or they can draw it. Getting out and exploring nature and reading books about nature, this is a really wonderful time to spend time with your family and your kids in just a fun, relaxing way. Don't make it homework. Don't make it, right or wrong answers. None of that is how science works. Science is full of wrong answers. Scientists will say, well, I think this is how this works. And they do the whole experiment and go, wow, I was wrong. Let me try again. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to provide all the answers for your child. You want to let them learn, experience, ask questions, be wrong, discover the right answer, and go from there. And it'll make a very fun and wonderful memory for you and your family, and get your kids involved in nature and conservation. Multnomah County Library has multiple resources to help you and your family become more involved in conserving our natural world. Visit the MCL website or your local library to learn more.